Hey YouTube, what's up? This is We All Juggle Knives with another Multi-Tool Monday. So what is the best Boker tech tool? You know, they have 7 different models out at the moment. You can check out my full review of the tech tool number 4, but I actually think that this one is the best Boker tech tool for most people. Not for everybody. Of course, people have different needs, but I think on average, for the majority, I really like this one. This is the Tech Tool 5. Now you see the main 3 tools, the longer tools on this are the scissors, the mini pliers, and that very good blade. Whereas on the number 4, you have those 3 tools, but they add the wood saw, which can be useful, but I definitely don't think it's mandatory for the majority of people, and it does make the tool thicker. You see that wood saw makes it noticeably thicker, so you do gain a lot of convenience from going without that saw. The other major difference between the Tech Tool 4 and the 5 is this has a Phillips screwdriver in place of the corkscrew. So again, I think that is more useful for most people. Now, like all the tech tools, the number 5 actually has the Sandvik steel blade. Yeah, that Sandvik blade, it's really good. The blade on these tech tools, it's actually even a little bit better than the typical blade on a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. And that's saying a lot because Victorinox knives actually have extremely good blades themselves. But I found the tech tool blade is even slightly better than the Victorinox blades. Alright, so an overview of the Tech Tool 5. As I said, the 3 longer tools, scissors, mini pliers, and the blade. Then you have the cap lifter with the flathead screwdriver, and the serrated blade, also with a flathead screwdriver. And on the back you have a reamer, right? And you have the Phillips screwdriver. So yes, because of the tool set and being easier to carry, I definitely think the 5 is more desirable than the 4 for most people. I mean, you can see the difference in thickness. Now, when these first came out, this was not available when I got this one. You know, the number 4 came out first, and if this had been out before, I probably would have gotten the number 5. As far as the tool set, I think almost all the tools are pretty useful just day-to-day around town. Mini pliers can be useful, scissors, the blade obviously, the screwdrivers, the reamer. Yeah, I like all those tools. The only tool that I would change would be the serrated cutter. For a small secondary blade, I would definitely prefer this type of blade, which is, it's basically like a pruning knife, right, a forward tip. I use this a lot, all right, this Victorinox. I open packages with it. I mean, I just find that blade shape to be a lot more useful than this. And you know, if you need serrations, I mean, they could put serrations on this type of blade if you really needed serrations, but that tip is very useful. Now, this Victorinox model is called the Harvester. Okay, it's exactly like the Farmer, but they replaced the can opener with this pruning blade. All right, it's a very good Victorinox, the Harvester. But yeah, basically I love this thing except for that secondary blade. I don't like that too much, but all the rest of this I really like. Now, I know some people might take issue with the mini pliers, you know, because they're definitely not as good as, let's say these pliers, right? On the Sidekick, Leatherman Sidekick. But remember, the Leatherman Sidekick is a lot bigger. All right? It's a lot, it's just a lot bigger. So, it's kind of a different size category. A more fair comparison would be to compare the Tech Tool with this, the thinnest of the Leatherman Juice models, right? The S2. That's a more fair comparison in my mind. Okay, so let's compare them. Well, I think the pliers on the Leatherman still win, but the blade on this Boker definitely just wrecks the blade on the Leatherman. I mean, this blade, most people will find it far superior. So yeah, I would say if pliers are your main concern, carry a Juice or carry the Leatherman Sidekick. But if you find the blade is more important, then the Boker Tech Tool I would recommend. But there are still more competitors, right? The Victorinox Deluxe Tinker also has the blade, the mini pliers, and the scissors, just like this Tech Tool. So, this would be kind of its closest competition. You see, very similar in size. The Tech Tool is a little bit thicker because of the thickness of the G10 scales and the pocket clip, but it is nice to have a pocket clip. And of course, this has the glass breaker too, but then this has the tweezers and toothpick, right, which this does not have. So yeah, I mean, and as I said, the blade is slightly superior on the Boker, but yeah, these are neck and neck. I mean, these are, fighting to the death. All right, YouTube, so in conclusion, pocket clip, awesome. It's cool that it has a glass breaker. The blade is awesome. The mini pliers, they lose out to the Leatherman, but they are what they are. They're still good for small tinkering jobs. All right, but overall, this is just it has a very efficient tool set. I mean, I like every tool except I didn't really like the little blade. So I mean, I have to give that like an 8 or 9 out of 10. And also, it's just well made. I mean, it's very solid. It has a good feel to it. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job as far as just the construction, the fit and finish. Yeah, so overall, very happy with this. I definitely think it's worth it. And this would be the one I recommend for most people, the Tech Tool 5. All right, and I'll include the links. They have these on Amazon now. They're available on Amazon now, so I'll include the links to all the tech tools. And this has been We All Juggle Knives, another Multi-Tool Monday. I'm out.